Okay, it says we're live. I hope so. Still alive. May not look too alive. That helps. Oh, all right. So another episode, Minutes with Mylo, has started. We're waiting for some people to show up, and we hope they show up. Somebody's got to. If it's just the crickets. So, uh, like I'm trying to do, first of the videos is welcome the people that don't watch it live that come on after it's recorded and it's sitting out there floating around in YouTube land. So if you're watching this after it's live, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment on the video. If you like it, share it with your friends. If you don't like it, share it with your enemies and make them watch it. Time to a chair, sit them down, turn it on, make them watch it. So one of the things that may be happening on the channel is I'm thinking about trying out Twitch. Has anybody ever been on or seen Twitch? Mostly you've watched probably gamers running live streams on Twitch. Uh, the thing about Twitch is it's a little bit more geared towards, we call it Twitch TV, so it's geared a little more towards the live stream. YouTube does a good job live streaming. It's just people, I think, get the idea that YouTube is a place where people make certain videos for a certain purpose and they put them out there, and then you can watch, how to change the headlight in a, 2010 Suburban or something, or do what it sew something or cook something or make a video on something. So you can learn how to make YouTube videos on YouTube watching a YouTube video. So, but anyway, it's just something that one of the guys at work suggested. Ryan at work suggested it, and I've set one up, and maybe I was going to try it tonight, but it didn't quite work out. To be honest with you, I haven't really done much with it after I got the account set up, and so there you have it. But I think it's the same way. You can watch on Twitch. It's Minutes with Mylo. It's the same setup. And then after it's on Twitch, it will come to YouTube to be housed here because Twitch only keeps it together for like 6 days or something, keeps it up there, and then it's gone. So it's pretty short-lived. But then it'll be on YouTube like my regular channel stuff here. But you can still watch on YouTube. Like I said, some people aren't able to get on live. Some people still watch afterwards, see what it's all about, and I appreciate it. So, what we're going to talk about this evening is something that I know everybody's wondered about. I've wondered about it. Uh, I don't know if it drives you crazy, but you always see a lot of TV commercials anymore about prescription drugs, and you wonder why do you come up with names the way they are? Once you name it something easier, something more memorable. Now, some of the names are memorable. Some of them I can't remember, even though I must have heard them 1,000 times. All right. So, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. Didn't know why. Didn't know how. And I don't know. They don't even make words to me. So, start doing a little research, trying to figure out why would there's big money in prescription drugs, and why wouldn't they name it something easier? And come to find out, there's a naming structure, a way they have to name it in order to, I guess, distinguish it from other drugs, similar drugs. and I still don't totally understand how it works. I've read up on it, and it still doesn't make a lot of sense. But there's a certain chemical makeup, of course, that the drugs use to do their magic. And depending on if it's for arthritis or depending on whether it's for heart disease or gout or whatever it might be, there's certain areas, certain things that the drug targets. There's certain chemicals in it, and those are the factors that they look at in coming up with these names. And so I looked at uh, one of the places that I looked was uh, oh, where is it? Popular Science. Thank you very much. Popular Science. So how does a drug get its name? And this is from Popular Science website. And it says, street names aside, who comes up with crazy non-words like Zyrtec? And a lot of these I cannot pronounce. The only reason I know Zyrtec is because I've heard it. And so it goes on to explain that let me get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Okay. So apparently the drug manufacturers, and just use Pfizer, because this is what it's talking about here in this article. And let's just use Zyrtec because I can pronounce it. It says, even though awkward to pronounce, Zyrtec is more memorable than its generic name, tufon-common citrate. And it's much more noteworthy than the chemical name, some unpronounceable string of characters. When the patent expires on Zyrtec, a long time from now, people will ask their doctors for tufon-common citrate. Citrate, that's what it is, instead. So apparently they have to name the generic name first. And it says at least drugs have at least 3 names. Coming up with those names, both the chemical name and its commercial brand requires a drug name decoder. It's somewhat like learning English words based on their roots. Once you know bio comes from the Greek for life, you know biosphere and biology and biography and so on have to do something with that subject. So that makes a little sense. So they take bits and pieces of the makeup, chemical makeup, what the drug does, what parts of the body or things that it affects, and they push these all together. And so they're really making up words based on different parts of the drug. For drugs, the key is chemistry. Drug makers propose generic names according to their compound's chemical makeup. Chemical formula is what truly defines the drug. The names describes the structure, function, and molecular targets. So tufon citrate includes an epidural growth factor receptor, which describes how the drug works, something with a MAB ending, like lots of other drugs, are monoclonal antibodies. I know you've probably heard that because of the COVID. So it targets specific cells, viruses, or bacteria. So all these factors are going into the name, and it's like, holy cow, it's unbelievable. I mean, I would soon just think some yahoos are in a bubble, sipping wine, eating cheese, and throwing darts at syllables on the wall, and then making up these names. To me, that's almost, it would be a heck of a lot easier. But goes on to say in the article that there is a method to the madness, and madness that it seems to be to us. It does tell people, smart people like doctors or chemists and all these other things, basically from the drug's name, what it does. So if you got one of these uh, decoders, you can come up with what the drug is made of, what its target is, and how it basically works from just the names, as long as it's put together correctly. And it should be, because it's very important that certain people know what it is, how it works, so that they don't get it confused with something else. So there's one that they use here for an example, and we're going to call it tenofovir. Tenofovir. I hope I can remember to even say that for this. And it's used to treat HIV infections, and its chemical name is this amino purine propan oxymethyl phosphoric acid thing. So you can't read that over the phone to the pharmacist, it says. Neither does any human anywhere. So instead, the people who discovered it came up with tenofovir. Well, see, I can't even remember what it is when I just said it. Given the right stem describing structure and function, the VR researchers can tack on syllables of their choice. Well, the name sounds strange. It's very serious business, according to the Food and Drug Administration. Misprescribed drugs are the most common error in healthcare, and thousands of people die this way every year. New generic names must meet standards set by the World Health Organization. I know you've heard that because of COVID. International non-proprietary names and the United States adopted names for pharmaceuticals and brand names must pass muster with the FDA. Wow. So, like I said, I would rather just see, let's just throw darts at the wall and come up with syllables and name these things. So, it is craziness to us, and I don't even know who decides how they're pronounced. I mean, I read dictionaries and that kind of stuff and look at it, and it tells you how to, pronounce and emphasize certain syllables in the word and all that kind of stuff. So it's the same kind of deal with these. I'm sure this drug decoder is something that, I guess it's software. I mean, it doesn't really say. There's another article by the AMA Journal, American Medical Association's Journal of Ethics. And it says that since the 60s, the United States Adopted Names Program has been assigning generic names to all active drug ingredients sold in the United States. Pharmaceutical names are assigned according to a scheme in which specific syllables in the drug name, called stems, convey information about the chemical structure, action, or indication of the drug. The name also includes a prefix that is distinct from other drug names and that, I don't know that word, and acceptable to sponsoring pharmaceutical companies. They also include a prefix that is distinct from other drugs, and I'm going to say makes it memorable and acceptable to the sponsoring pharmaceutical firm. Drug names are the product of complex, multi-party negotiation in which the needs and desires of various stakeholders must be balanced. So there's the generic name that, of course, when you get, I guess Viagra is the non-generic name. That's what everybody knows it. And when the patent runs out, then you can go and ask for whatever the generic name is. And it's like that with all drugs. So if you have a prescription for an antibiotic and it costs you $150, you can say, well, what about generic named antibiotic, which is the same drug, it's just not you know, under that patent. And it's, oh, well, yeah, we can sell you that, and it's, $75 for your prescription. So, generic is a big thing. I don't tend to know how that works, but generics usually cost less, significantly less, than their commercial counterparts or full name counterparts. I mean, I don't know. So it was something that I was interested in, how that happens. And now that I learned a little more about it, I don't think I really want to know what I know already. I probably could have just said, Ryan has joined the group. Hey, Ryan, you are the group, bud. So, but where do you think they got the names for the Flintstone vitamins? Well, Barney, Betty, Fred, Thelma? Is it Thelma? Or is I was thinking of Scooby Doo? Pebbles and Bam Bam. I think those dudes were all sitting around and come up with anything that had to do with little rocks. And that's what they named it. What's the dinosaur, purple dinosaur's name? Not Barney, but the purple dinosaur that was their pet. Dino. Ah, I remember that. Dino. I bet you didn't even know that one. So, back to these scientific type stuff. Like I said, I wanted to know, and now that I know, I don't understand what I know because I don't know enough. I think it's D-I-N-O, isn't it? Like Dino, Dino. Maybe it is two E's. Quail's here. You didn't know it till I said it. Maybe it's spelled with two E's. Because Dino, D-I-N-O, could be pronounced Dino. I don't know. So that's all I think I have to say about how prescription drugs get their names. There's a method. It makes sense to the people that know how it works, and be happy that there's that naming convention, because supposedly all that's supposed to help you from getting the wrong drug at the hospital or through the pharmacist or whatever. See, I knew Google would back me up. That's the reason I said that it was D-I-N-O. But even according to, what was that, the AMA Journal of Ethics, the wrong drug is still given to patients, even though they take steps to make sure that that's not happening. It still happens. So it's scary, but what do they say? It's not a perfect sign. And that leads me to something. Humans make mistakes, and somebody may say, well, once they get artificial intelligence, all the human will be taken out of the equation. Well, guess what? Who designed the artificial intelligence? It's the crazy humans that make mistakes. There you go. So mistakes are going to be programmed into it. You can't help it. And how's AI supposed to correct itself if it is flawed? Well, it can't. So can't fix itself because its root structure is flawed. So there you go. That's why we have the Terminator movies. So everybody out there that thinks that artificial intelligence is going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, wrong. And they'll probably get rid of all the Flintstone vitamins anyway. Robert's here. What time is it? 9:20. What are you guys doing? Are you late to the party? I think Craig is an android powered by AI. Or maybe by Al. AI. A-A-L. Craig is an android powered by Al. Wasn't Al the first, or maybe not the first, been an artificial intelligence in the Space Odyssey 2001? 2000? Space Odyssey 2000? Yay! Robert's mom got to come home. Cool beans. Is she resting soundly, peacefully? Is that why you're out on the computer? Raising Cain on the intrawebs? So wasn't it Hal? Thank you very much, Robert. Hal was in the no, Hal was a computer, right? The artificial intelligence that was running the show and was killing everybody because he knew better than humans, so he was going to kill all the humans. That's what the deal is. Every movie is about that. That has artificial intelligence. That sooner or later it'll figure out that we are our worst enemy, and the only way to save us from us is to kill us. So there you go. Everybody go out and get you a robot that's going to clean your house and eventually try to become smarter than you, so it will suffocate you in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. Yep, that's right, Robert. Trying to save us by killing us. It's the only way, Hal. Stop it, Hal. What was the guy's name? What was the human's name that was trying to shut the computer down? I gotta look it up. If I can't type, I gotta look at the keyboard. What is it? Okay. Don't make me look it up. Space Odyssey. Lucky. O-D-S-C-C-Y. Song, movies, David Bowie. How does this work? The HAL 9000, fictional artificial intelligence character, and the main antagonist in Arthur C. Clarke's Space Odyssey series. Was it a series? Dave. There you go. Dave was the dude, the astronaut that was trying to shut him down because he figured out what he was doing or had done. Speaking of robots, you can buy the RoboCop skin in the Fortnite item shop tonight. Well, why are we even on here listening to this guy? Go out there and get your RoboCop skin, your foreskin for Fortnite. Jeez, people. Why would you pass that opportunity up? Ryan, are you going to go out and get your Fortnite RoboCop foreskin? Or do you even play Fortnite? Or do you play Fifth Night? Or Sixth Night? Well, once a night's enough. Which is it? What do you play? There's always that joke. Once a king, always a king, but once a night's enough. Remember that. Oh. Are you broke in real money or are you broke in your cyber money? Money that they trade for in the black market, the Fortnite back rooms, under the table money. It's not even money, it's like digital currency. Both. So how'd you get broke in Fortnite? Did you lose? Did you bet something? The gambling table back room of the you built your own gambling hall. Somebody swooped in from the skies and blew it up. Fortnite uses V-Bucks. I bet they do. I bet they do. I've never played Fortnite. I've seen it. Seen it play. I've seen it played. PUBG rules. Alright, so I don't even know what PUBG is. Whatever it is, it has a lot of rules. Robert says so. So where's everybody been that you were so late to the party? I was given very good information about how to name your next prescription drug if you're a Pfizer. It doesn't sound like very fun, really. Nope. That kind of Twitch kind of fell through tonight. I didn't do a lot of research. Wasn't sure if I could get it set up and make it work. Is the original Battle Royale game. PUBG. Nope. Don't think I ever heard of it. Don't think I ever heard of it. So is it played? Like, maybe I ought to do a show on what exactly Battle Royale games are. I think at some point I kind of knew what that was, but at this point I don't think I could give you, if I sit down in front of Congress or the Senate and they said, can you describe to me what is a Fort Royale battle? And I would just have to say, nope, I don't know. Player-owned battleground. Player unknown's battlegrounds. Okay. Battle Royale. I can't describe it to you. Don't know what it is. When you guys want to try to look at doing some more with the D&D setup, anybody else thinking they're going to try another shot at that? Weren't we supposed to come up with our own D&D campaigns and talk about them one night on here and see, kind of get an idea of what the next campaign might be about? So you could have an underwater campaign. That'd be cool. Have to be like that thing in Harry Potter where you come up with some kind of spell so you can breathe underwater. Of course, that's already been done. D and D is for nerd. What about D and D? It's got the N in there. Got the N, D N D, like this. D N D. Well, did you just think that one up, or is that something that you've learned and now you have an opportunity to finally use it? Now, see, you could probably take that and you had one of those drug decoders and you could talk about, figure out what the, what you say it quick enough so it doesn't sound like what it's supposed to sound like. Mycoxal fallen. There you go. If you say it fast enough, it really is a medical name. I could see where somebody called Dunkin' Donuts D&D. Now see, Viagra would be the real name. My Fallen would be its generic name. I did learn that from looking up this stuff on the internet. So how they would have to come up with the mycoxal fallen first, and that would explain what the is and did, what it affected, and if it was, named that. And then the Viagra would be the one. Even I think the Viagra part still takes syllables from all its big named chemical names and comes up with that part. Even though they said that that name was actually more along the lines of just promotional purpose because it is invigorating and that kind of stuff. Vital, invigorating, vicious. That's a word. It starts with V. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, since the ask about, and if you go back and watch the first of this, we talk about maybe Twitch would be coming up, trying it on Twitch. Might just do like a little off the Monday or Thursday night just to try it and see. They try to tune in like on a Thursday night at 9 and I wasn't there. It would break hearts. It could cause lots of heartache. So, might try a little test first, see how it's going. So, all right, well, 32 minutes. The education on the drug naming, prescription naming. The takeaway is they're not just made up. They actually mean something. History involved. There's smart people involved. They're all mixed together to make stuff safe. That's why they don't make any sense. They're just thrown together and shaken up, pulled out, put together, and that's the name. Like alphabet soup. That's exactly what Sherry said on Facebook was alphabet. That isn't exactly what she said, but that's what she meant. And she said it. And I'll quote, maybe. Yep. Sherry said alphabet soup when I posted it on Facebook what tonight's subject was going to be. Well, if I do something on Twitch, I'll put it out there. Like I was saying before, I think you can watch on Twitch without having a log in. That's fine. Just something I was going to try. So until next Thursday, I appreciate y'all coming by, making your comments. Go on. I know you commented here, but I hardly get any comments after the video up. So if you get time, go in there, start it, and just say, I left a comment when it was running or something crazy. Anyway. But also got another short coming out. If you haven't looked at my shorts, some of them I have to say, some of them have got some pretty decent views. Some of them, if you see this big white junky thing that you can't really tell what it is, it's a front load washer with more suds in it than you should ever have in a front load washer. And if you watch close, you look, I don't know, it's got like a fishbowl door on it, you know. But if you look close, you can see the bubbles rolling around, and then in the corner there'll be a little black sock or something come around every couple of times, and you can see it. Uh, it didn't turn out too well because I was fumbling with the camera. I took one that turned out well, but it was not long enough, so I went back to take another one. And by that time, the suds had filled the whole porthole, the whole door window, so it's a little harder to see. Nobody liked it, but uh, I've got another one on a Christmas tree coming up. Check out the rockin' flamingos. That's pretty cool. That's a present that we got over Thanksgiving from my oldest sister. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, any questions? Then thanks everybody for coming by, and I will chat at you later. Everybody make their phalanges dance and say goodbye, good night. Thanks everybody for coming.